Hello and welcome to The New Woman, brought to you in association with Kushalia UK and ABE TV Initiative. This show brings to you topics, discussions, issues and situations relating to women. Here at The New Woman, we intend and aim to empower women from all walks of life, creating a platform for experts to share their expertise and advice, and to create a platform for women to become more aware, awakened and empowered. I'm your host, Lisa Billingham, and today our guest is Zaf Khan. Morning, Zaf.
Good morning.
Today we are talking about finance. Zaf works for the FSB, so can you explain to us what you actually do for the FSB and how it works, please?
The FSB is a Federation of Small Businesses. It's a non-profitable sport organisation that is led by the members for the members. The organisation itself has been established over 45 years, and currently we have over 170,000 members, and these members are made up of self-employed, working for themselves, self-employed, working for an organisation, small businesses, independent, without the partners, which we call it sole traders. Then we have businesses that are in partnerships, so there might be more than one, two partners, and then small, medium enterprise business that employs up to 249 employees. So that's the size of businesses that we look after. So what happens is that when you join the FSB, okay, so you get all the provincial benefits that are with it. That comes, but why people join is that people join on different reasons. They have different challenges that the business is facing. So you are backed by a credit big organisation which has no overheads. It's mainly run by the members. So every member comes from a business background. So that consists of IT, sales, construction, architect, engineering. So it's made up of everything, and we cover whole of the UK. So my position within the organisation is that I'm a business membership advisor for Birmingham, and my role is actually to talk about the FSB to businesses and the challenges that they're facing and how we can help them, and for them to come and join the FSB, especially in the times that we're in now. They need all the support that they can get. A lot of people, so it doesn't matter if it's a private sector or what your business is. You have all the departments. So when you have some challenges, for example, you've got just say this building that here, you got some disputes with your landlord, or he wants to up the business rate or the rent, but you're not happy with that. So rather taking your focus away from your business and dealing with that, FSB will do that for you. So so you get cover there where you tell us. So there's a team that will lobby on your behalf. So during these sort of last 6 months, the difficult time that we're in, FSB is the one who actually lobbied on behalf of 5.7 or 5.9 small businesses out there, and 4.9 self-employeds. So to get packages in place that they need all the support that they can. So we've been working very, very hard and tirelessly in this uncertain times. There are a lot of challenges out there that business are faced, so they need a strong voice, and FSB is that organisation that gives that strong voice for protection for their members.
Perfect, thank you. So you've mentioned the current times already. Obviously we are in unprecedented times. Nobody knows what's going to come next, basically. What's going to come next? Expertise, if I'm correct, is finance?
Yeah, I mean, my background always been over the last 28 years working in the sales industry, which consists of finance as well. Working for some of the corporate organisations, companies, and that we dealt. We had a product where we sold. That finance was involved in it. So yes, I have that sort of experience.
How do you think the current situation has impacted on people's financial health?
Lisa, the question that you've just gone, very sensitive. It's at the moment, the last 6 months has been very, very challenging. Not just for certain individuals or for certain sector, globally. It's a globalization that's affected because nobody knew how impact this is going to be and how it's going to change people's, lifestyle. Start of the year, people have goals. They set they set financial goals, and the things that they want to achieve. And then quarter into the year, come March, and everything has changed. We've moved from the physical world into the digital world. For some, it's been embraced, it's been fantastic. But for some, and I'll say for majority, it hasn't. Because why? One thing that you first have to look for is, especially if people are working for an organisation, for companies, and there are a lot of big companies that have laid off. There've been a huge impact of redundancies, and the first thing is finance. So you have to readdress and you have to refinance yourself to say this is how the income was based. These are the implications. And it has affected. I'll say, it's affected everybody. Even if you're doing well, it has affected somewhere. It's affected everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen a difference between women and men coming to you for financial help? Has it impacted women more than the other? Women more than men?
Normally, it's always, male dominated, and the males, with ego always will say, yeah, we are more stronger when it comes to finance than the women. But again, there's everybody's got their own opinion on the angle. Where I'm going to come from is that first, I say it's 50-50 because it has affected, men as well. And it's affected the women. But a lot of times we tend to, focus more on the women, but not the men. But as equal. But on other side of the coin, we have men who are very successful, or when it comes to finance. But we also have, a lot of women who are, very successful, especially if you look at the finance sector in itself.
Yeah.
Women are more successful.
Really?
And that's they are a lot successful, and there are a lot of women who are controlled the finances. So again, it all comes down to education as well, and it all comes down to the lifestyle, how the culture that you're born in and you were brought up in. Finances are introduced, so it's all about managing. If you're successful when it comes to finance, then everything else will be successful as well.
So do you get many, you've just said 50-50, which I find really quite interesting actually. I think you always assume things, don't you? And without seeing the facts, obviously none of us know anything, no. Particularly, would it be women's awareness over men's? And do you think, from what you've just said, women seem to have a better awareness of finance, would you say, with business rather than men?
Again, 50-50 on that as well. For what I've seen, especially now over the last sort of few years that I've been involved with the FSB, going out there, seeing all types of businesses, and there are some successful businesses. There are some successful entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. And when you look at their statistics and you look at their turnover of the business and how they're done and how it's well managed, right from the grassroots level right to the top. So but again, I've also seen the other side, where they haven't managed, and that's affecting not only their business but also their household, because the finance actually starts from home.
Yes, of course.
So women are known for for spending, for, I'll say, impulse buying. But again, on the other hand, us men as well, we sometimes spend when we don't need to, spend. So it's all about education, and especially going back now the difficult times that we're in now. Now we have to look and we have to adjust a lot of things, because a lot of things that we want, some of them not there now as well.
Yes, of course.
Again, some people don't like, online buying. Some people like the old traditional, where you got touch and feel, you want to see, before you do. But there are a lot of, temptations as well, especially when you go online as well. And so we've got to be, we need to have that sort of education, that sort of mindset. Because it's uncertainty. When you get the clarity and you get the certainty back, then you can start planning the way you want to. But we have to alter a bit now our lifestyle, our expenditure of actually buying and spending. We've got to be more careful, because the future. Before you could tell, I've been with the organisation 20 years. I've got long longevity. I've got strong, stability. So therefore, everything is fine. You can see the light of the tunnel. Now you don't, because successful companies, successful organisations, we see the front side. We see their production going. We see their turnover. You think to yourself, we're very healthy, stable. But what's happening in the closed doors, we don't know. And suddenly they announced, right, we're going to lay off 5% of the staff, or 10%, whatever the percentage might be, or the figure might be. Suddenly that has an impact on you, because the first thing we go for is finance. Right, if I lose this job now, that's a chunk of that finance that's going to be taken away. So how do we adopt? And then the more implications comes to it, because it's the well-being, stress, anxiety, and then the relationship effect. So just from a very small finance, it can explode, and you can have the big hole.
Yeah. Do you think, or have you found, working with people in the last 6 months, has there been, obviously you've just mentioned the mental health impact of things, have the FSB found that people are coming to them for, as well as the financial support, well-being support as well?
Yeah, one of the benefits that you get when you join the FSB is we do a FSB care. Okay. So the FSB care, so it doesn't matter what condition of health you have. FSB care is all about well-being, and I'm a great believer in the personal development that I come from. The very first investment you've got to do is yourself. We focus on our business. We have those long-term, short-term. We even project our forecast to 3, 5, 10 years where we want to be. But we're not projecting ourselves, because the company will do well, your business will do well if you're well. How are you feeling on a daily basis? So the mind, the body, internally, physically, spiritually, you've got to be well-being, and that has a lot of implications. And sometimes we don't discuss things with our loved ones, and especially we don't discuss, especially when you are you got partners, you got more than one directors, you don't but you've got to talk to someone. So the FSB care is there to help. And especially in the last 6 months, and this is all figures and facts coming from our members, is that if you've got symptoms of COVID, okay, you have to isolate yourself, whether it be 7 days, 14 days. If you ring the National Health Service and ring 111, you get guidance, but you not get as many help. Now with the FSB care, what happens is you've got 24-hour nurse, general practice nurse on hand, so you can talk to about anything, and they tell you exactly what you're feeling. They'll give you some facts to read, on that symptoms and what you do, and they are there with you all the way. So it's not a different practitioner, and what happens is throughout that process, you open up. You can talk things and share things, which I probably won't share. We've been working with you for 10 years, 15 years, but I'm keeping it close, with my partner, with my wife, or whatever it may be. We don't share, but here you do. And the members have found that very beneficial, because of all the way that somebody was there to talk them through, especially when you have someone who doesn't live with anybody. The family and friends are not very close by. They're now isolated. Some people can take things a tough well-being, but some can't. So our FSB care is very important, and that it's something that so whatever you're diagnosed with, it covers for that all the way and up to where, before we had the general practitioner who would come and pay you a visit as well, and so it's a very, very, very good, beneficial, cover. That covers everything, and that's the value that that it gives you. Again, whatever health condition you have, sometimes you can't, make an appointment, with your GP. Here, they'll tell you exactly what you need, and sometimes they'll do that for you as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's a very, a strong one. And again, going back to that well-being, so very focused, and I always say is that invest in yourself first. Yeah. Okay, have a very good inner lifestyle, because when you perform and you feel good, that then shines into your organisation, and when that when that shines into your organisation, the staff, that everybody that works with you, they get that as well, because it's very, very, if you don't have people working for you and all don't turn up, they're all ill, you can't move forward.
Yeah, so it's very much a hand-holding organisation, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you want to come, it's like, when you're working for yourself, there are challenges that you'll come across. FSB, what they do, they take that challenges for you. And we have, people in place in the right department that will walk you through and help you through all the way that you need. And most of the people come to FSB as well, purely is because they know that it's like your organisation, you got all of the departments that are covered for you. Yeah. And especially, if you don't know where to start. Yes. Myself, one of my role as a membership advisor is that, we help you on that, what challenges you got, where you need help. And so you got someone who's is there for you when you need it. Yeah.
So from the initial conception of a business, if you even have that thought that you want to go into business in whatever industry or whatever area it is, then the FSB's worth a call. They would start from that thought and guide you through.
Yeah, I mean, we don't tell you how you're going to run it. Yeah. Sometimes people say, "Oh, right, we don't look at your turnover. That's got nothing to do with us, because that's how you do." But we do give, so if there's any, legal health, issues, things that, that needs to be in place. So we give you all of that, advice on what you need to have, what you don't need to have, and how you can go forward. People need clients. So we can, give you, we help you with that. And one of the, benefits, with the FSB is that our networking, we do, events up and down the, country. So there's 170,000 members. So imagine getting in touch with each of those a member, and they have their contacts. Yeah. So it's, it's a place, but it's a place where you'll meet and interact with other fellow members. Yeah. And it's like outsourcing. So there's certain things, right, I can't do. Yes. But I know Lisa can. Yes. And I know, somebody else can. So I can go and say, right, and they do vice versa, because you've got your skill sets as well. Yes. So what I do find in the time that we live in is that the business have come closer. Yes. There's more collaboration. And I address to all those other businesses as well, entrepreneurs, individuals, that adopt and change is one thing, but if you're not sort of good in one particular area, go to the one who can, and don't look at your ego, put that away, because this is so the more closer you are. So once we go away, through the uncertainty, back to certainty, back to clarity, you got all those contacts, and it's what you've done in that difficult time. People, will remember as well, and the unsuccessful ones will hit the ground running, because of what they gave. And it's my 28 years of working in the sales and personal development, well, with successful people, it's always been, if you give something what they want, you always will get what you want. And it's all about helping, it's all about understanding. It's not about what's in it for me. So all the skill sets, and the more you can help, and they are, and that leverage, opportunity, exposure is out there. So it's really, in this time, I have never ever seen amount of love, amount of a closeness that business have come. Whereas maybe before 6, 7 months, 8, it probably wasn't like that.
Yeah, they'd be competitors, wouldn't they? Yeah. It's a very, very strange world. Very strange world. And like you say, it's like a family, isn't it? From that point of view, like you say, you don't have we all have a particular skill set, And the biggest thing I think at the moment, especially with, like you say, well-being, mental health problems, loneliness, etc., is asking for that help. And at the moment, obviously we're talking about the new woman. So do you find that at the moment more women are at the moment organisation for help?
I mean, also, women who are in self-employed or they're small, medium owners of the business, or they're independent freelance entrepreneurs. So we've got women and men as well. So yeah. So it's. I mean, I can't give you the actual statistics figure. I'd love to, but yeah. If you look at the cross board, and working, we've come across a lot of women and successful entrepreneurs who are really successful in their skill sets and in their branding and in their product that they have. So we've seen a lot of a rise over the years, and more and more now currently as well. So yeah.
Brilliant. Have you found that more women, I'm just thinking of like the construction industry, one of the companies I used to work for, we got a part construction industry, and it was amazing then how many women actually were in the construction industry. Have you found that women that are coming to you for advice are in a particular area, like health and well-being, or have you found that it's a very broad range now?
Very broad range, and it should be, very broad range. Normally, you expect women to work either, behind the desk, first thing that comes to mind, receptionist, secretary, PR, and all the stuff, paperwork, related. But that's not the case now. There's women out there who actually own small independent, construction, companies as well. And I've seen, some women who actually work, on the site, doing the jobs that, some, men. So if you got the skill set, you can, deliver, bring them forward because they can shine. But at the same time, they have certain skills which, men don't have. And that's why there's a speciality when it comes to to a woman. We live it's that stigma of male domination. That's wrong, and that's changed because women have got a lot to offer. But I've also seen a rise of independent coaches, wellbeing coaches, NLP practitioners. So we've seen the shift, of that, empowerment of women, and we need more of those because there are, if you look at the statistics-wise, the population, there's women out there. Again, going back to the topic that we've got, finance. And women, and some are not very good. So when you have successful coaching, and we need those sort of guide, that sort of advisors to help you to go through. So there's been quite a rise in that side as well, and they're very successful at that.
Brilliant. So do you run training courses? I know you've mentioned networking, and I have been to before way working, and I have. Networking events, but obviously with the changes, do the FSB run training programs for people?
Yeah, we we do, in the networking, there's always in a particular topic that, a well-being, for women, or well-being, maybe, and then you got business entrepreneurs that will, book to come on. Again, another way of connection, another way of growing, and yeah, we do, different types of workshops, and our members who cover each sort of sector, they have that, a workshop which we, put through, and and there's a lot of, collaboration, with, organisations that FSB work and negotiate to get that in place for, everybody, to kickstart, the workshop. So yeah, so when FSB members join, we tell them, because they all need, development, and we have those in place up and down the. One of the benefits as a FSB member is that you got access to all of the FSB's network, and especially, when everything was in the physical world, you'll because one of the key is that when you join the FSB, you have your own account. So you log into your account, you look at your region and events, and it's up to you how further you're going to go, 50-mile radius for a network or 40-mile radius. Now, in the virtual world, it's simply switch on your laptop, switch on your computer, your phone. Okay, you probably sit in a cafe, some quiet place, and you can network, with entrepreneurs, businesses down in London or down in up in north in Scotland or east or west, and you can do that, through virtually, and maybe those are the connections you probably wouldn't have. I mean, certain entrepreneurs that that cover certain sector of area of geographical, yes. I can understand but if you've got a product that needs to go nationally, then you need to be connected with people nationally, and right now virtually, and that's been a very positive, huge, you're collaborating with people that you probably wouldn't have because you only wanted to travel to certain miles and do your connections. So there's a huge opportunity to have that at the moment, and there's quite a lot of them are all free everywhere. So I say maximize that opportunity. If you're someone and your biggest challenge right now is I need more clients, yes. And my answer to that is network more, make more connections, build those relationships, and you'll see.
Yeah, it's all right. No like trust. Yeah, absolutely. If somebody wanted to join the FSB but didn't want to go straight in, to actually pay membership and go straight in, is there anything that they can do to maybe try it out? Are they able to attend the networking meeting?
What I normally say when somebody wants to join, first of all, I say, do the research. Okay, yeah. Which is go onto the FSB website, have a look, and then each area, each town has its own membership, advisor that you get in touch with. Okay, and then first of all, what we do is, we understand their business first, because the benefits that are out there are same for every business, but it's how you use those benefits for you. So we want to know what's your business, how can we, help, what challenges are you facing, and then, that's where we take it, from there. And we work, very closely, like myself, with my members. It's like you've taken me on. Yes. But not without paying on a salary. So it's all about referring. So if I can't help you with this particular, but I know somebody who can, and it's just one of those channels. So we take myself, you can get in touch, and then from there we can actually look and identify what's the reason, how we can help, and then we can take it from there.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So your specialism is sales training.
Sales, yeah, because that's all I've done. Live, breathe, taste sales all my life. It's salespeople. We create opportunity, and that opportunity is come from the industry where I don't want people coming to me. I go to them. Yes. Yeah. People never thought of they want to purchase something, and they buy. So it's that side of and what I, in my sort of sales training, what I give back is that I come across a lot of successful businesses who've put their heart and passion into it. They've produced a business, that they've invented a product, but they can't take it forward, they can't deliver it. So communications, negotiation skills, so confidence. A lot of them, people don't like, they get a setback when a rejection or an objection, handling happens. So that's the area that I focus and, give back how to, overcome those, and how to, because, when people hear, sales, they're all thinking, right, in this country, what we have is, everybody, don't get me wrong, there's been bad and it's the bad people that, remember and say that every salesperson is the same. They see somebody in a shirt, and a tie and a suit, okay, well dressed, they think, right, okay, he's here. But the real people, it's all about understanding the need. Yes. You've got a problem. So if you've inquired, what I want to know, or what we want to know is, what's the purpose behind it? Why have you inquired? So it's problem solving, because you got a problem. Once we're done for the problem, we can give you that solution. So that solution is made on your presence, and that's the way to do it, because then it's all about then knowing your need, and having does Lisa need that, or she doesn't need that, and the successful people, it's all about investigating that and giving that solution, but you make that decision yourself.
Absolutely. It's very, I want to use the word strange, because very often, I've worked in sales myself, but very often Do you find, and this is a question for you, do you find this, that you will sit with a brand new member who's maybe their business is just in here, and once they've got an idea, do you find that at the end of that you've empowered them more and that they've actually changed what they're going to do? So you make them think that maybe actually, would this be better?
Because again, we give, so if you've come and you came for an advice and you're looking for, so I'll look at all the options that you've got where, because it's the passion, it's the thought process. So we look at the psychology side of that. Why did you want, and then we give, advice and a choice. That is very, very good. But how about this? Have you thought about that? Yeah. Go away, think about it. And if you do, then you get, these sort of results. So once you see light, you start to understand that light, then you can, yeah, this is the way forward. Because one thing you can't do is, a misadvice. And sometimes, when people give wrong. So you have, and there are certain areas where I will outsource. So if you come to me, okay, you want business advice, sales, and I can give you that, but then when I know, so if you want to look more at strategic size, an area where you look safe, maybe that's may not be my speciality, but I can then put you forward with somebody who's a bit higher than me. So it's like, climbing up them, journey steps. So you're on that step, so you're with Zaf, he'll take you to there, and then somebody will come and take you, so that it's all after, so we look after you all the way, so you're going through all of that, a process, and we say, right, okay, this is what I've done with this person, this is where that business is at, very successful, this is the area now, and I think you should overtake that and look at that. And you do get, some successful business advisors out there who've got all of, the areas that they cover. So what is it? Is it the profit side? Is it the, strategies? Is that the area? Or is it just, sales? So we give everything, because a lot of people got good business, good product, but they think, right, I've got a website, I've got nice, lovely, flashy business cards or digital business cards now, because we're not in a time where we give business cards. I've got my social media platform. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I've got YouTube. I've got all of this. Now I'm going to sit back, and the client's gonna and the product people gonna they're all gonna come traveling in with the traffic, and I'm going to do well. No, it's a stumbling block, because you have to go to people. You have to get your brand awareness out there. Yeah. So it's not just about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you probably could get away with that. Have good, and just wait. Don't go to anyone. Let people come to you. But you have to go, and the way to do that is through connection, and one connection will lead you to another connection, and it's a link, which are all attached, and then you see and along the way people give you different advices, different mentors. So I think everybody needs a mentor, successful mentor, because they can see certain things which you can't.
Absolutely. You're very blinkered, really, aren't you? Because you've got that idea and you think, right, that's what I want to do. And it's very often does take somebody like yourself to say, well, you need to go through everything, and you need to think about it, and you need to strategize it. Have you found that from the people that you've dealt with, is there one particular tip or one particular pattern that you found, thinking more about women, especially in the current environment, because I would suspect a lot of women that were maybe stay-at-home moms that have been forced out of their jobs or whatever are now looking for something different to do. Is there anything that they've come to you with that's a pattern that's emerging that you've seen from the people that you've dealt with recently?
Yeah, I mean, for what you say, women that be working and then suddenly they've become home, housewives or house moms. Now they want to go back. When they meet and they got a certain idea, I always look at their passion, because you could have a motivation to do something, not just do it because you want to, going through emotions. But look at their skill set. What have they got? And sometimes you have one particular skill set and you see that there's more creativity behind there. So you want them to, explore a bit. So first of all is like, listing down, that first tips I get is that, look at your skills, positive skills, look at your negative skills, and then outweigh, there's going to be, if there's more, positive skills out there, then that's the, route that you want to take. And if you can't, get, and there are very successful people out there who will give that sort of, advice and understand, what this product means to you. You need to know your business better than somebody else because it's yours. So yeah.
So we've only got a few minutes left now on the show. So is there one tip that you could give people? Obviously we're talking about women, but the broader picture, that if somebody's thinking about being self-employed maybe, or somebody's thinking about joining the FSB, what's one tip that you would give to people?
One tip I will give to those is that don't look at the difficult situation that we're in, is that everything's going to collapse. Yes, it's what we look, don't look at, too much, focus on media around you, because all that does is it just creates doubts and, and fear. Have a clear choice. If you are someone who worked for an organisation as an employee, and now you feel that you find that the stability there is not as strong as it is, and you want to go into a working for yourself, and we're going to see a huge impact and huge rise in that. Especially, we're going to see more and more people now who are going to work, for themselves, and today, you can do business transactions and negotiations with people around the world, and it's the digital, side. So my, help is that if you are thinking of going self-employed, do it. You're working for yourself. At the end of the day, you are, that, and there's people there, who will help you and give you all those employees. So if you're someone that you want to set up a business, but you think, nah, we need clarity, just go for it. Just follow the heart. Just go for it. And at the moment, there are loads of opportunities out there where people are waiting to give you, advice, and take as much as possible, and people give. And that's the, my tip is that if you want to do it, if you want to go for it. Still, there is good times ahead of us as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because with every negative, there's always positive, and I look at the positive side. Be positive. There are more people, positive people around you. Hang on to them.
Yeah. Definitely bring that positivity into your life. Yeah. Well, that was lovely. Thank you very much, Zaf. Thank you for your time. Lovely to talk to you. Very interesting.
To come and share some information.
Share some tips with us. So if you are thinking about setting up a business, or you're in business at the moment and you're maybe struggling with things, then contact Zaf. How can people get in touch with you, Zaf?
If people can get in touch with me, I'm on LinkedIn. So if you're using LinkedIn, so if you go and type in, Zafran Khan FSB, then my profile will come. Connect with me. I'm also on Facebook as well, and you can find me on Facebook and get in touch with me there, and then we can take things from there.
Yeah, perfect. Brilliant. Right, thank you very much, Zaf. So on behalf of The New Woman and KUK and ABE TV, thank you very much for coming today. It was lovely to meet you, and all the best. Thank you very much.